It was at this moment that
She
knew. Dog.
In the last video, I talked about how hard it is to train Kyle the Nile monitor. But in today's video, we're gonna show you how hard it is. Cue the intro. Alright, so this is day 9 of training Kyle to be a good person outside of his enclosure. And basically, we also call it hoodie training because the training requires him to climb on us, and he gains a lot of confidence from the fact that he's free to do his own movements. You can see already he's got some pretty awesome tongue flicks going on right there, which is not a behavior that he was exhibiting before when we used to go close the enclosure. But what we've been doing recently is applying the threads of trust technique to this animal, and we've been getting him very much used to our presence and to be on us as well. We've even begun training him to go out of his enclosure by himself. I don't know if he's gonna do it today, but if he doesn't, we're gonna coax him with a little bit of food. We have some freeze-dried chicken here, and we also have some freeze-dried minnow, which is some fish, right? And this is to coax him to make him go forward. But as you can see, he has no problem stepping on Roxanne to go and get the chicken. So here you go, you got my tongs here, buddy. We have Kyle, the Nile monitor, out and about. And it's not even something that we could have considered to do when we first moved into this new house, which is just a couple of months ago. So the training basically goes like this. We let Kyle pretty much climb wherever he wants. We talk to him and reassure him throughout the process. You can see those tongue flicks are absolutely essential. They're really, really long, and you can see that there's not a lot of stress in the way that, oh, he just did a sideways tongue flick. Okay, so sideways tongue flicks are really good because that is basically him downloading the information. If you don't know Kevin McCurley, he basically is the guy that I watch when I want to learn more about lizard training and any kind of animal training, really, because he's a man. I'm gonna apply another one of his techniques here and show you something that is absolutely crazy that we've been doing with Kyle, and it is some chin scratches. So we do this. And there you go. Yeah. Oh, you wanna climb on Papa? Okay. Come on. So as you can see, he's not really high maintenance anymore, especially not when we do this. We have him out for 30 minutes at a time. I did mention this is day 9, okay? So we've been doing this every day for about 30 minutes every day. He loves transferring between me and Roxanne. I don't know if he'll do it now, but he actually loves it. So we can actually coax him to do it a little bit, like touching his chest. But it's actually so cool because here you can see he does have a prehensile tail, right? Because he uses it, right? Now, look at that. That was a beautiful transfer. I don't think you can ask for anything more out of the behavior of this animal, especially 9 days in, right? But look at those taps. That is exactly what you want. Now he's looking at his enclosure. So I'm gonna come from down here. He didn't even see me coming, right? And then I scratched his chin like that. And then he climbs my hand. He's no longer afraid of me at all. He just wants to explore. He loves the world now, and you can see this might have just been the key. This might have just been what we were missing in order to fully unlock his true potential, and he isn't really stressed anymore when we come in the room. Whoa, hold on a minute. No, don't you skip, don't you dare skip. I knew you were gonna skip. This is not an ad, I just wanted to thank you guys. We hit 500 subscribers. Normally I ask you guys to subscribe. Now I'm gonna thank you guys that you guys subscribe so much. 500 is a huge milestone, and we couldn't do it without all of you. Honestly, imagining having 500 people tour my reptile room is kind of insane, although it's giving me a bit of an idea.
Guess you guys aren't ready for that yet. But your kids are gonna love it.
Regardless, we are going to keep going with the video, and thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. Beautiful.
I didn't even pet you when you want to come.
Let me pick him back up. Okay, I'll take the camera. Boop, and now the roles are reversed. What do you say about that? I am the cameraman now.
Yeah, I
if you guys want a live stream of it and see what our mornings look like.
We could do it every morning. I think it could be really cool. Now, you can see no longer any stress. He's actually doing really well now. Doing really good. He's gonna climb your head. Yep. Are you okay? Your face? Yeah. Now you can understand why we're dressed like that, right? With the hat and the hoodie. Because if ever something like that happens, you would rather have 2 layers on than just one.
Yeah. And that's also why we have hats.
Yeah.
To try to protect our eyes a bit more.
Yeah, it's more to protect like
From
him
the
coming
top.
from the top,
Yeah.
right? Because if he climbs and then he tries to rest and then he tries to stop himself from sliding, he might slide all the way into your eye, right? And you don't want that. He's looking at us. He's like, hello.
It's the first time that he has the camera so close to us, so. But he's not that stressed. He is a bit, but it's not bad.
We're adding one new thing a day normally, right? Like yesterday, we even left this room and we went in the Tegu room and in the snake room with him, right? Because we wanted him to have different smells and stuff like that, right? Hey, you have to let go. You have to let go. Dude.
Kyle.
Thank you. Do it. Here. I'll do it. Pretty cool. This kind of stuff doesn't just happen.
No, and we worked with him doing other stuff before.
It's not just the time that it takes to do the training. It's also the way that you behave during the training. It's your energy, like what kind of stuff that you put out into the room, like in terms of vibe, right? We actually put some lo-fi, like very, very quiet lo-fi, like not like hip hop or anything, like no drum machine. Like you really want it like quiet lo-fi to sleep to, and you're calm and you want to operate on his level. If you guys are not familiar with the German word Umwelt, it means to look at the world from the point of view of the animal when you're training it. Right? So what are factors that are important to him, right? He likes feeling superior so that he doesn't feel threatened. You want to approach in a totally non-threatening way, slowly, but with confidence. Then, eventually, something will click. This animal. I'm not saying you won't get bit. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying you could get bit. And that is part of the training. Because in this training, friends, you're not just training the animal. You're training yourself. And that is the biggest lesson that I learned this week. And the biggest lesson that he learned this week is that we're not terrible monsters. We want to have a relationship with him. And all of those things that we're doing, right? The chin scratches, letting him be freer than he was normally, letting him decide on who he goes. Also providing with some treats during training for some positive reinforcement, because it's very important for him to feel at ease. And when you train an animal like a Nile monitor, what I'm trying to say basically is that half of the training is the time that you put into it, and half of the training is the intention and the vibe that you're putting into this interaction with this animal. Because you totally need to be non-threatening, and you need to be so sure of your movements so that he doesn't feel like you're hesitating and you're waiting for a moment to strike, right? That is what they are used to in the wild. They mess with lions, they get totally cornered by lions, and they still stand their ground. So there is a lesson to be learned here about how their behavior also affects their ability to be trained.
I don't know.
See?
Just be
See?
scared.
See? Hold on. No, wait. Zoom on me for a second. Editor Matt, zoom on. Look at this. Don't tell me it's not prehensile. They are tree monitors. They're just disguised. They're also water monitors, I'd like to point out, because they spend like 90% of their life in the water. He's actually pretty humid right now. I don't know if you can feel the texture in his skin, right? But it feels like alligator.
Yeah, when I first picked him up, he was kind of wet.
Yeah, well, he wasn't his water, right?
Yeah.
So like they sleep in there like 90% of the time, right? I think this video might just be the biggest step that we've done in his entire history here at Mystic Animals.
Yeah, I never would have believed it if you would have told me like
Yeah.
a couple months ago that this would have been
I
possible.
don't even think it makes sense to totally
I'm still
honest that
kinda
in
shook
9
about
days,
it.
right?
Yeah.
I don't think it makes total sense, right? But it's happening, right? And we're doing it every morning, and I think the consistency, mixed up the way that we look at this animal and that we provide for him and that we totally try to think it, it, it,
It's okay. It happened. I'm fine. So see, we talked about biting.
Yeah.
It just happened.
I got one on my finger a couple of days ago, right here. But the reality is, he is a wild-caught animal,
Oh, yeah.
and he isn't totally trained. We are training him, and this is something that can happen.
Oh yeah, and that's why we protect your face and, you know.
100%. And this is why we obviously don't want to do this in front of people. We're doing it by ourselves
Yeah,
in a
that's-
controlled environment, because there's no way we would want anybody else to get hurt by this animal for now, you know what I mean?
And that's also why we're always two, just in
Yeah.
case something actually bad
100%,
happens. Like this was
100%.
pretty fine.
Yeah,
like,
are you
know,
okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's not bad, but it could have been bad. Like they can
100%.
break your finger.
Yeah, they can
could-
break your finger. They
you
can
know.
definitely get those teeth super deep into you where it's a problem, and they can do some nerve damage, right? You can move your finger okay and all that stuff,
He
right?
didn't even clamp that hard. He just took my finger.
Yeah. If
I
there was
just-
no pressure behind the bite.
Not that much.
Yeah, that's
I
what I'm
was just,
saying, right? That is
taking
that's
the
what
spots.
he was doing to me as well the other day, right? He actually just checked me out of his mouth, because his mouth is one of the ways that he is going to find out what stuff is in the wild, you know? In the wild, monitors have their sense of smell, right? They have their sense of vision, and they definitely have their mouth to check things out, right? And when we were mentioning Umwelt earlier, what is their universe? Their universe is those 3 things. And food. He really likes food. It's a way to get him happy, it's a way to get him focused, and it's definitely a way to get him trained for sure. But we don't want to rely all our training on food. That is where you could go wrong, because then he associates you with it, right? And we totally don't want to feed him like 9 times per training. We normally just give him like 4 or 5 treats every time, right? And I don't mean prey items, I mean treats. They're tiny, 1 or 2 calorie per treat depending on which brand we take. And we alter between the 2 brands so that it's not fatty. So you can't say that he'll get fat because of that. That is not an option, right? And he is getting a lot of exercise just by doing this. Like right now he's grabbing on my neck and I can't even pull away. Like that's how much strength he has in his legs, you know? And he is getting tons of opportunity to climb, as you can see with the big cage that we have here. There's no better opportunity to climb than giving him a basking spot that he needs to climb in order to get up there, right? And that is the biggest key, because we've actually gotten used to doing something like this, because now he's high up off the ground and he doesn't freak out. Sorry, me again. I promise this is the last time I'll interrupt your content, but we just launched our brand new website for our Zoo to You experiences. So if you're in the Ottawa Gatineau region, don't hesitate to visit mysticanimals.com. That's www.mysticanimals.com. Now back to the video. I'll check how long this has been going on for, because we do keep a timer. 35 minutes. We usually do around 30 minutes and then we increase, right? So this is a perfect interaction and it went flawlessly, even if you got bit, to be totally honest.
He was probably just scared.
I don't know if you guys will agree. I don't know if you guys would ever keep a null monitor. Let me know down in the comments, but
You have to not be scared of getting hurt. It's
No.
just some things that can happen. All the animals have their own risks, so if you want one, that's just what you have to do.
and what you have to do now is hit that like button. Obviously, you don't have to, but it'd be really cool because we need it. And also hit subscribe if you're not subscribed, because, you know, join the club. Also, this weekend we're going to be going to the Ottawa Pet Expo that's happening at the EY Center. So if you guys are going, make sure to look out for us and come say hi if you know who we are. So anyway, that'd be super cool. And I'll see you in the next video, if there is a next video and I don't die today. So, nah, I'm just kidding. He can't kill me. There's no way. Anyway, he weighs 6 pounds. So me and my little crazy family will tell you. See you next week. Thank you so much for checking out this video, everybody. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button. And if you really loved it, why don't you subscribe? It's free, you know?